Welcome to the Bowels of Retribution, and in today's video I'm going to show you 3 2025 releases, all death metal and all on vinyl. Hello everybody. So 2025 has been another superb year for underground metal releases, especially death metal. And these 3 releases that I'm going to show you today just go to prove that. The first release I'm going to show you is by a band from Sweden. This is their 4th full-length release, put out on Metal Blade Records, and it is the band Lick. I know you don't quite pronounce it like that, but that's what sits right in my brain. This released Necro, 10 tracks of superb, old school sounding Swedish death metal. I will show you the packaging of the vinyl before we get into it, but lyrics on the inside of the gatefold there, some zombie images of the band. The vinyl, put that there, the vinyl is, as they call, a tombstone grey blue marbled. That looks like so. Nice centre labels there with the logo and track listing on. And as always with the Metal Blade releases, comes in a nice poly-lined sleeve with the label logo on it. So if you don't know Lick, like I alluded to just then, old school Swedish sounding death metal. These are a modern band, but their feet are firmly placed in the old school. It just mixes that aggression perfectly with that melody that you get from the old school Swedish bands. HM2 driven. I mean, the sound of the guitar on this is just so good. It's the perfect HM2 tone for me. It's heavy, it's thick, it's meaty. These guys know how to write a riff or two. These are probably one of my favourites of the modern bands playing this style. When you hear some of their riffs, you feel like you've almost heard them before, and I don't mean in a worship or copying kind of way. These guys have got their own style. They've got an epicness to their sound. It's just a fabulous release. Vocally, one of the best growls out there. One of those growls that you can decipher what he's saying really nicely in the mix. Drumming's excellent, you've got everything in there. You've even got the odd blast beat in there sometimes. Great lead work. A really interesting album, an album that flows really well, I think. You know, it's one of those albums that when you get to the end of it you want to put it on again. And it's got a start and an end. It feels like, I mean, the last track, Rotten Inferno, ends with like this sort of piano outro. It's just a fantastic release. I cannot recommend this album enough. A superb release of old school sounding Swedish death metal, plugged into that HM2 pedal. The next release, oh, there was a poster that came with that. In fact, let me show you that. I took it out so I didn't have to worry about doing that on the screen. It's just a picture of those zombified band members there. Quite a large poster though, that, isn't it? Just about to get that in the screen. The next release I'm going to show you is a band from Edinburgh. This is their 2nd full length, self-released. and it is the band Chest Crush. This release, as you can see, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, so I shall put what Evan has kind of pointed at, the English translation of it. So this is the brainchild of Evan. You may know him from his work in Caustic Phlegm as well, but this is his main project, Chest Crush. Like I say, their second full-length release. Again, let me show you what's going on inside before we get talking about it. Again, a nice sort of marbled style vinyl. Centre labels with the superb Chest Crush logo on it. And this sticker came on the outside of the sleeve, and it perfectly sums up the style of this band. Black death metal chaos. Couldn't say any better, could you? The inner has got that image there, which I think appears on the t-shirt, and I think they've still got some of those available on their Bandcamp, so please head over. 3 members there. So, Black Death Metal Chaos, exactly. If you know Chest Crush, you know their style. It is heavy as fuck. It is oppressive, dark, dissonant, blackened death metal of the highest order. Absolutely brilliant. You go from those chugging death metal riffs into the more open style of the black metal sort of wah. Not the greatest impression, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying. The drummer they have got involved in this album, Robin is his name, I want to say. Yeah, Robin Stone. Oh, he can play. He is superb. His blasts are fantastic. His double kick drumming, the spade of it is unbelievable. Absolutely superb. Evan's guitar and his style of playing is superb. And the vocalist, what's his name? Topias. Yeah, he is superb as well. Everything that you want from a blackened death metal sound, this has got it. Doominess, blastiness, darkness, just superb. It's a fantastic release, and a great piece of artwork that as well, isn't it? I've spoken about Evan and his music before, and I always said that when I first started getting into extreme music, I was looking for that sort of uneasiness. I wanted music that gave me that uneasy feeling, made me really take notes and think about it. And because I've been into it for years now, there's not a lot of bands that do that. Evan manages to do it with both of his projects, Chest Crush and Caustic Phlegm. So I cannot recommend this band highly enough. Self-release, like I say, I do think there are still copies on Bandcamp, so please head over, especially if you're in the UK, and support Evan and the music that he makes. A superb release. Dark, dismal, fantastic black and death metal. Chest Crush. And the last record I'm going to show you today is a band from the Netherlands. Like Lick, this is their 4th full-length release. This is put out on listenablerecords, and it is the band Graceless. This release, Icons of Ruin. I have been a fan of this band, like with Lick, from their first album, and this isn't going to change anything. Let me show you the inside before we get onto it. The vinyl is, I don't know what they call that style, but I like that. I like that sort of two-tone style. I don't know what they call. I can't remember what they call it. Merge, is it? I suppose. Inside, nice heavy cardstock. Inner there, picture of the band, lyrics on the other side. If you know Graceless, you know they play death metal, but death metal with doominess, death doom I suppose. And I have heard quite a few detractors of this release, and I don't really know why that is. I don't know whether the people who are reviewing a band like this are into, you know, Hate Eternal or something like that, some speedy, super aggressive type of metal, but this is death doom, so what you get is slow, epic death metal with melody, that sort of bolt thrower-esque style I suppose. It never gets fast, it's always slow to mid-paced. And I suppose you've got to be a fan of death doom to really appreciate that. You know, the guitars sound superb, the vocalist, again like Lick, he's got a brilliant growl, and you know, you can decipher all of the words he is singing. Lead guitar is superb. The lead guitar kind of adds a little bit of darkness to that epicness, but I just love this band. I think they're superb. And I suppose, you know, bands are going to get their detractors because of the styles of things, but you know, you can hear me talking about it. Make your own mind up, go and check them out, have a listen, and see what you think yourself. I suppose other people's opinions don't really matter. All I try and do in my videos when I talk about bands like this is just give this album and this band a spotlight for you to go and check them out and make up your own minds. But I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Death doom. I think what I like about Graceless as well is there's almost, and being a fan of thrash metal growing up, there's almost a thrashiness sometimes to their style of doing things, and I quite like death metal bands that when you sort of sit back and listen to them, you can hear a bit of a sort of a thrash metal undertone in there. So yeah, please go and check them out. Graceless, Icons of Ruin, out on Listenable Records. All of these 3 releases are 2025 releases. Playing in the background, we are listening to Australia's Aeon's Abyss. This EP was put out in 2023, I want to say. And at the time of me recording this video, they are currently recording their 3rd full-length release, I believe it is. Steve and Paul, the 2 brothers, superb lads. If you've never heard Aeon's Abyss before, please go and check them out. Death thrash from Australia. That's what's playing in the background. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Please do go and check out all 3 of those releases. All superb 2025 releases. I'll be back again soon with another video. I didn't know what I was going to say then or what order I was going to say it in, but yeah, thank you as always for watching. Take care everybody. Bye for now.